So the title might be deceiving, but the thumbnail is not. Also, Chad, I'm a bit pissed right now. I'm actually quite upset. You know what I mean? I'm not showing it because I'm, whatever, but I recorded 16 minutes of this video just to look to my left to see how long I had been recording Barrel Man. And turns out that I recorded 16 minutes, that I did not record the last 16 minutes. I have been recording for 60 minutes, and it sucks because literally when I was saying that you guys will see every single second of me playing this game, and then I look to my left and turns out you will not be able to. I'm sorry. So I've been building the farm. I recorded for 16 minutes again. As you can see here, I'm doing this underwater type of thing here. My vibe, my mood has been kind of ruined a little bit because I just don't like that. So I'm sorry. Let me see if I can remember everything that I was going to say. So first of all, the title has some sort of relevance to what I'm going to talk about in this video. While I build this farm. Damn, it's really just throwing me off because I already talked about this. Like everything that I wanted to say, I already talked about. But yes, so the title does have some relevance. For those that don't know, like related to Clash Royale or Clash of Clans, but Clash Royale specifically. Just for those that might be confused as to what the title means. But again, I will get into that in a second. I also understand that this video might be a lot of people's first impressions of me. So I'm going to have to keep saying this until I actually get some sort of audience. These videos are what I like to consider personal diaries or diary entries or proof of existence, So it's just me yapping to a camera. There's something important that's gonna happen. I'm gonna talk about different topics. Like this video's title is a bit of a goofy one, but I have talked about videos like about consistency or anger issues and stuff like that. Just I don't know, just whatever conversation comes to mind. And eventually, if I get an audience, I'll just talk about whatever they want to talk about, and I'll cover whatever they want me to cover. These are not edited because I feel like that kind of ruins the point of a diary entry. I don't think you edit a diary entry. You don't remove pages. I don't think so. I mean, maybe you do, but I don't know. I feel like it's a personal thing in a way. Obviously, I'm publicizing it, but it's personal. That being said, I need food. Oh, man, that's gonna be a huge problem. Just not having food. Can I sacrifice one of the cows now? I had to. No. I need food. Pronto. How do I make pumpkin pie? Oh, what the hell? That's pumpkin seeds. I don't want pumpkin seeds. Oh my god. That's so annoying. And it's raining. That's also annoying. Let me go to sleep. Again, I'm really pissed. 16 minutes. Anyway, so I'm going to be talking about a video that I saw. This time I will have a list of things. I know I mentioned that I didn't want to have a list when I on these videos because I felt like it ruins the purpose of me coming up with ideas at the top of my dome. But I'm going to be talking about a video that I saw prior to recording the first take of this. Let me just make sure I'm still recording. I still am. Okay. But it's a video that I saw from a YouTuber named Mumbo Jumbo who has 9.6 million subscribers. At the time of what the hell? At the time of me recording this, and he has been doing YouTube for a good amount of time now. He's an OG, and especially in the Minecraft YouTube space. I know because I have definitely seen him back then when I used to watch Minecraft videos. And he made a video talking about why Let's Plays are dying. Now, first and foremost, he mentioned the algorithm and just how YouTube categorizes or ranks videos nowadays, where it's from a 1 out of 10 ranking system. The way that the ranking system works is that if your video did 1 out of 10, like 1 out of 10 is the best and 10 out of 10 is the worst. And it's ranked on a video by video basis, right? So If your video does one out of 10, YouTube is gonna say, "Whoa, let's recommend them." If your video does, you know, 10 out of 10, they're gonna say, "Whoa, let's not recommend him. He is bombing right now. He's garbage, doo doo. He's trash." Uh, so they're not gonna recommend you, and your next video might not do as well. Unless the topic itself is really interesting, that it starts to perform well and it slowly climbs up. Um, though also that ranking system is just part of it. I don't think he really mentioned that retention rate is also a big part of that. So my previous video, nostalgia, got a 1 out of 10, and it sounds pretty good. You know what I mean? It's a 1 out of 10 because, again, like, the reason why it's ranked like that is because it's comparing your last 10 videos. So if it's a 1 out of 10, out of your last 10 videos, it did better than those, right? In a certain time frame, right? So like in the first 10 minutes, in the first 10 minutes, you know what I mean? Or the first 20 hours, whatever. Like, that's how it's ranking it. I hope that makes sense. What was I trying to say here? I actually don't remember. So, because it's being done on a video by video basis, if your video doesn't do well, they're not gonna want to recommend you. That's not what I was trying to say. I don't remember what I was talking about. But it definitely does make it harder, especially for a series. So you can argue that my videos are a series because it's a let's play of a world that I'm playing since technically day one, which really day two, right? So I've been playing this world since day two, and some people might find it daunting to go back every single video and watch those videos. But I mean, for me, I think what I like about my videos, and I like to think so at least, is that it's not necessarily about the gameplay, and this is why I'm not so worried about doing off-camera grinding and off-camera stuff, because the way that I see it, these videos is just more about what I'm talking about. Like, I think that's the important part of these videos. Like, what am I yapping about, right? I wish I had more topics to yap about, but I don't have an audience yet. But yeah, for let's play videos, like you mentioned, that it seems kind of daunting, especially with the titles. That's why I chose to make the titles that I have. It's like, okay, let's make it as simple as possible for people, with the titles, and as to what I'm trying to say. Like, let's make it as simple as possible to you, right, to the audience, right, about what I'm trying to say, or the topic of the video, because I don't want to have Minecraft Let's Play Video 10. Today we build a farm. Like, that's too much, right? Not only that, but if it's numbered, you kind of feel like, oh man, I just cannot be asked to go watch the first episode, right? And that's fine. Like, if you're watching this video and this is your first impression of me, you don't have to go watch the first episode. If anything, just watch the videos that you find interesting, because the topic of each video is really different every single time. Sometimes I do say the same things, but the topic changes per video. Like I said, I've talked about consistency, like being consistent in your work, in your life, and whatever thing you want to do in your life. I've talked about, like anger issues. Like, I personally have anger issues, and because of that, I lost friends. I've also talked about bad friends, how I feel like I've been a bad friend to some people, and have also been the subject of bad friends. Just stuff like that. Just topics are more specific, right? I've even talked about something similar before when it comes to the YouTube meta. And this is essentially the same topic, but I'm kind of just going over the points that another YouTuber made. Now, I did forget to mention this earlier in the video. If you do want to watch his video, it will be down in the description. I forgot to mention that earlier. I should have mentioned that earlier. Sorry. Just since I'm re-recording this video, I remember that I said these things, but technically you guys didn't hear it because I recorded the audio, but there was no gameplay. I'm not just gonna leave you guys with audio. But yeah, so because of that, also, it's I thought this was the opposite, but actually it's better if you, instead of back then, the meta back then was to upload as many videos as possible. YouTube would champion that, like being consistent with your content, like uploading a lot. And while it still does champion that, they would genuinely prefer that you take time and upload high quality content, like hyper engaging content, rather than like a video like this where I have to hope that you're engaged as to what I'm saying, and anytime that I stutter or there's long space, I have to hope that you're like, all right, I'm done, and then you just click off the video. I have to hope that, and clearly it's not working too well because I'm obviously seeing low retention rate. That's fine. I said I wasn't gonna focus too much on the numbers. I'm gonna try my best to not do that and just do what I do. Hope that I improve. Hope that I don't have to do ahs a lot, and improve in actually talking and getting my points across. Cause pumpkin, sometimes I have not been good at that, getting my point across. Which is why I have this here. Another thing is YouTube is like most people now prioritize their home feed, right, Barrel Man? You see, like most people, like you don't actually go to your subscription feed anymore. It's there. Admittedly, I don't use it either. I don't use the subscription feed, so I might be subscribed to a channel, but I might not get recommended their content, right, for a while or ever again. If I start watching a different set of content, and that's what they're gonna recommend me and the homepage. So people that I'm subscribed to, I probably haven't watched their content in a good while because YouTube hasn't recommended it to me anymore, right? So, now it's a home feed base, and hold on, I'm trying to remember this. And I remember what I was gonna say earlier, but I'll get into that in a second. Home feed base. So I have to hope that YouTube places me in the feed, but when that happens and I'm in the home page, I'm competing against a lot of other people that are making hyper engaging content. I'm literally just hitting record, removing the dead area at the start. Okay, yeah. Removing the dead area at the start of the video and removing cutting the outro a little bit to add the outro part. That's all I'm doing with this video. So anytime that I mess up or I don't say or don't really get to the point quickly enough, I keep that in, right? So I'm competing against people that have well-produced videos, well-edited content. And by the way, I'm not bitter about that. I understood that from the beginning, right? I understood exactly what this channel was gonna be, or how it might be perceived, because yeah, I've been on YouTube for such a long time. Not as a creator, as a viewer, I understand that people will be more inclined to watch content that's entertaining, fast-paced, like boom edits, whoosh sounds here, pop-ups here, you know what I mean, stuff like that. Where mine is just, at least on this channel, like the main channel is a different case. I do edit those videos, but on the other channels, on this channel, it's just me yapping until I run out of things to yap about, so I understand that my competition is, what I mean, it's a bit difficult. You know what I mean? They're better researched. Some of them have better, they're more funnier or whatever. Again, I'm not saying that I feel bad about me. No, it's just more of like, I understand that there's a lot of competition, so that's why I do appreciate you if you even made it this far, which according to the stats, not many, if any, right? At least not today or now or anytime soon. I'm not sure. Let me go eat more berries because I have nothing. There's no animals nearby. Is there any? Ah, damn it. I'm gonna have to start killing animals soon. Right, Barrel Man? I need food. I'm just shaking left just to make sure. I did say that I was gonna. Whoa, brain fart. The video's title. The reason why I named it this is because I want to talk about who inspired me to make these kind of videos. or more specifically, the style of video of content that I am making now. And that person goes by the name of Ken. He makes Clash Royale content, and I started watching his content, and he got me back into Clash Royale. Probably not a good thing because Loki, I got a bit obsessed over it, but I wanted to make content similar to that, but I never thought that I really could, because first of all, I suck at Clash Royale. Like I'm terrible. I'm not good. I'm surprised that I'm at 14,000 trophies. I have no idea how, because I'm actually terrible. I'm a one deck pony, if you will. I couldn't use any other deck. And it's such a I'm not gonna talk about that, but I really love his style of videos where he just yaps. He just talks about whatever he wants to talk about, and I was like, yo, I love that. I really like that type of content. It's really entertaining to me. I'd like to just do that at some point, but I just never did it. And then he made a video that I saw. It was his Minecraft Let's Play. His second, I didn't watch the first one, but his second one, I watched it. And he was talking about YouTube, and considering that at this point in time he had like almost 1 million subscribers, he was talking about like what he expected from YouTube, what he wanted, what his future might look like, and like the uncertainties of it. He was talking about that, and I realized that there was something peaceful about it. I couldn't relate to that, obviously, because I'm not at his stage as a creator. But I just I don't know, something about it just felt like, wow, he's just talking about like real shit, you know what I mean, in a video. That's cool. It wasn't edited. I'm sure he was more entertaining, and it's gonna take me a while to get more entertaining, but I just really liked that. And for a couple of weeks, it wouldn't leave my head. I had it in my head that I'm like, oh, I could do that. I could just I can't do Clash. I know I can't. I suck at it. I'm not gonna make anything entertaining. It's just gonna be me using my shitty deck and losing to everybody, right? Especially cycle decks, because I always lose to those. But Minecraft, it's a game that I've never actually played on my own for very long. But it's weird because Minecraft is one of those where you start with nothing and you build your way up in the way that you want. You choose what to do. And of course, I'm just deeping a sandbox game. It's really not that deep if you think about it. But it just feels like that. It's like, oh, Minecraft is a game where you start with nothing and you build whatever you want to build. And that's that, right? I need more food. Damn it. I should have killed animals. How do you make bread again? No, why do you go there? Give me 1 second. Actually, let's try this out. I want to see if it works. What? Oh. I want to see if this works. It is. Good. It hasn't been patched yet. But I do have to make I need one more, right? To make bread. Let's see if I remember. Yes. Just one though. Oh well. That should keep me running for a little bit. No. Actually, yeah, let me find animals to put to sleep. But yeah, so Ken is my inspiration for this content, the content that I'm making now. I really enjoy his videos. He just yaps about what he wants to yap about, and I don't know, I like that because to me that feels really authentic. It's really authentic to me, right? I really like that. That's the kind of content that I want to make. So that's why I have the title the way that it is. It's a nod to his videos and his content because he is an inspiration to me. I don't know. He just seems really real. He just talks about what he wants to yap about. I'm being redundant by saying that, but I don't know. I just like that. I like that. I could do that. And that's just what it is. I know I've never been. I want to make a video where I talk about how stubborn I can be, because I can be pretty stubborn. um, and how I never really liked the idea of following what's known as the meta. I've never liked doing what everybody else is doing. I always like doing it a different way, but in doing so, I actually don't get a lot of attention from people because I'm not doing what people want to see. But I don't know. I think that I as stubborn as it is, and as much as I want what I want in life, which is like the popularity and all that, and just attention and all that, I would rather do it in my own way than to follow the trends, right? And that's just what it is. It is pretty stubborn of me because it clearly isn't really working. You know, like I'm not a proof of concept yet, um, but I feel like by me being consistent and doing it every single day, all it takes is just to do it well once. Can, when he started his Can channel, his second channel, which now has over 1 million, that was his second channel. He already had, I think, 700K on a different channel. So he already did kind of have that boost. But I did actually, because I knew I was gonna talk about him. I went to look at his older videos, and yeah, he was doing the meta. He was doing the like cool titles or whatever on YouTube. So he had he had his face, he had like his phone, and he had like a screenshot of Clash, and he is doing the like the YouTuber face, you know. So yeah, he was definitely doing the meta back then. I guess at some point he realized that people didn't care about that meta, or he just realized that that wasn't it. You know what I mean? He just wanted to do what he finds fun. And that's what I'm doing. Like, I'm having fun doing the thumbnails that I'm doing. I know in the last video it wasn't my thumbnail. Well, I mean, it was technically. I did download the map, the demo map. I downloaded it, went into it, and took a screenshot. So it is my screenshot, but I didn't build it, or I didn't like, what I mean. I didn't make it myself. But to me, there was no bigger nostalgia than the Minecraft demo map when I couldn't afford Minecraft. I would keep playing that over and over. I think it was on my PS3. I think it was PS3. I don't remember. And I would play it over and over because I didn't have anything else. You know what I mean? And that was really fun to me. So I thought there's just no way I can recreate nostalgia without mentioning that or showing that. But yeah. So the point of these videos is just me to yap, and do it every single day. I understand that it becomes difficult because YouTube would prefer that you release high quality content, as much as possible, but also not like content like mine where I've had videos where I have a certain topic and I don't really talk about it properly. You know what I mean? Or I don't spend a good amount of time talking about said topic. And most of the video is just me going, So I understand that I still have a lot of improving to do as a creator, but I'm also not worried about, doing the crazy editing or the crazy things on these videos. Sure, I'm building a world for myself, but I think the main point of these videos, in my opinion, is just whatever I have to yap about for one day, and one day, does it interest you? Does it interest you? I hope so. And that's kind of what I want to do. I want to talk about topics that might interest you or might not interest. I don't know. It's up to you. And you choose to watch whatever video you want to watch. And I hope that I can make it, somewhat entertaining for you. Because that's fun. Let me just get this and do one last thing. Oh shit! Oh, damn it! Come on! Seeds. I might have to do this. Yes, sir. Okay. Let me go to bed real quick. I don't know if you guys have any topics or anything that you guys want me to talk about. Like, again, this video, the title of this video is probably the first time where it's not really on the nose, as to what I'm talking about. Because typically I do actually have titles like that. Again, When I talked about consistency, what do you think the title of the video was? Consistency, right? Or when I talked about my anger issues, what do you think the title of the video was? It was just anger. Like, you kind of knew, like, I was kind of telling you what to expect. Nice. Nice. The farm grows. Eventually, one of you guys will get slaughtered. Sheep, I'll bring you a friend soon. So I can have a sheep farm as well. Be quiet. So yeah, I think that's it for today's video. I think I probably forgot to mention some things, but like I said, I already spent 16 minutes recording this. It's 9:32. It's crazy. I'm sorry. I will say this every single time I close out this video. If there's something you want to do in life, go for it, because you're only gonna get older and you're gonna regret the time that you didn't spend working on something. Consistency is doing something that you like every single day as much as you possibly can. It's okay if you don't do it, you know, if you don't like, if you do a little bit one day and you do more the next day, that's how it is. But as long as you're still doing it every single day and as much as possible, you're doing good. That being said, I hope that you have a fantastic day.